Halo guys, kita balik lagi. Hari ini kita bakal ngelihat debat uh, Bassem Youssef lawan Jonathan Concreus. Bassem Youssef itu figurehead pro-Palestinian movement. Dia juga mantan dokter bedah, sekarang jadi komedian. Dan Jonathan Concreus itu uh, former spokesman untuk IDF dan combat commander juga di IDF. Yuk kita start aja.
Mr. Jonathan Conartis, all of the Israeli cabinets have genocidal language. We should start.
The United Kingdom have sanctioned two senior members of the Israeli government. Finance Minister.
For you, at least when you pay a dominatrix, you know that you're getting fucked.
Five of Israel's allies, including the United Kingdom, have sanctioned two senior members of the Israeli government. Finance Minister Smotrich and Security Minister Ben-Gvir are accused of inciting extremist violence and serious abuses of Palestinian human rights. Both have called for the aggressive expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Smotrich says that Gaza will be entirely destroyed and that not one grain of wheat should be allowed in. That's genocidal language. And the result is an extraordinary situation in which two of Israel's top ministers are now banned from traveling to countries that Israel counts as friends and allies. The United States, Israel's oldest and most important ally, is rapidly running out of patience too. President Trump might be the only person outside of Israel who can end this war. This week he called Netanyahu to tell him that a ceasefire and a hostage deal are not enough. He expects the war to end. For today's debate, I'm joined by two.
Kalau memang mereka itu mengucapkan kata-kata seperti itu, apa gandum gak boleh masuk dan lain-lain, apakah kita itu keterlaluan atau berlebihan kalau memang maksud mereka itu untuk meng-ethnic cleansing Gaza? Coba deh kita berpikir lebih jernih lagi, karena kita itu bisa lihat apa yang dilakukan mereka gitu loh.
Very familiar contributors whose insights we value and respect. Jonathan Conricus is a former IDF spokesman and combat commander. Bassem Youssef is a satirist, a former surgeon, and a figurehead of the pro-Palestinian movement. Both have spoken a lot about October the 7th and the long history of the war and indeed the conflict. So we're going to focus on what's happening now and what needs to happen next. Jonathan will go first. Bassem will respond. We'll try to give both of you equal time and statement to respond to. So let's get into this. Jonathan Conricus, first of all, your reaction to this pretty unprecedented news that two Israeli senior ministers have effectively been sanctioned by some of Israel's closest allies.
Yeah, it puts into question if it really is a close ally, and I think I'm very disappointed. I think it is egregious. I think it's wrong. I think that decision is hypocritical. I think it is unfair and probably impossible standards that are only applied against Israel. And I think it is very unhelpful. And I think
tidak membantu itu tidak membantu gimana gitu loh. Sekarang kalau dia itu ngomong mungkin bukan close sekutu dekatnya Israel. Emang kalau udah sekutu dekat itu nggak boleh mengkritik cara mereka itu melakukan pembersihan Hamas dan lain-lain. Kan boleh juga kan. Apa selama mereka itu udah dibilang sekutu dekat, terus mereka itu bisa berbuat apa aja tanpa dikritik gitu.
I think that Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the same words, very unhelpful for the UK and a few other countries to gang up against Israel and to do that. I will say that I didn't vote for either of those two ministers, and I probably don't share many of their views and definitely not their language and style of communications. But I will say that they were democratically elected, and that in Israel, which is more than I can say about a lot of people and so-called leaders in the region who are not under UK sanctions, and I think that they represent what their voters feel. Now, without espousing and supporting.
Kalau ngomong mewakili apa yang dirasakan pemilih mereka, berarti kalau seumpamanya Netanyahu gitu itu mengatakan, membuat pernyataan di publik yang banyak orang menganggap itu genosida dan ethnic cleansing, berarti warga negara Israel juga mau seperti itu. Maksudnya itu keinginannya warga Israel juga.
Specifically what you quoted Bezalel Smotrich saying, when it comes to humanitarian aid, I think there's a bit of irony here that he is now sanctioned after he himself, as Minister of Finance, signed the budget that pays for humanitarian aid that is now being delivered to Gazans. As far as I know, more than 14 million meals have been provided by Israel and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation over less than 2 weeks directly to Palestinians without Hamas or their front organization UNRWA being able to touch, contaminate, control, and divert the aid. And I think that is positive development, welcome. I think that it is late in the game and we should have done it earlier, but I'm happy that it's being done now. I'm happy on two fronts because one, there is a need for food to be provided, and two, it undermines the control and the stranglehold that Hamas has over the Palestinian population.
Okay.
And I would also
Jadi pembagian apa namanya makanan di sini, kebutuhan primer di sini dan lain-lain dari bantuan itu aku nggak terlalu peduli ya siapa yang mau memberikan dan lain-lain. Boleh Israel memberikan yang menyalurkan, boleh UNRWA dan seterusnya. Cuman perlu digarisbawahi di sini, kalau seumpamanya Israel itu yang memberikan, menyalurkan ini itu dan lain-lain, otomatis mereka memilih di mana mereka itu menyalurkan dan lain-lain karena teori konspirasinya itu mereka ingin menjadi satu-satunya penyalur itu untuk menggiring warga Gaza itu lebih ke selatan lagi karena mereka itu mau mengusir warga Gaza Palestinian itu ke Egypt, ke Mesir gitu loh. Untuk apa? Karena memang land di situ itu mau dikuasai oleh Israel. Dan Netanyahu pun pernah ngomong masalah Greater Israel gitu loh. Jadi Greater Israel itu ini. Jadi Greater Israel itu pernah diomongin Netanyahu juga. Itu jadi Israel tapi dengan luas daerah itu lebih dari Israel sekarang ini. Loh. Dan itu termasuk Gaza juga kalau nggak salah.
also say under the same, just one last thing appears under the category of hypocrisy. I've read so many tweets and statements by so-called humanitarians who claim to care about food and the humanitarian situation in Gaza. They are the same people who are now saying that this humanitarian effort by Israel isn't enough and that they don't support it. I wonder why they don't support it. And I think that they don't support it because it doesn't support the UNRWA mechanism that is in place, that keeps Hamas in place, and because it is perhaps the beginning of the end for Hamas. And a lot of people have a vested interest in Israel not defeating its enemy.
Okay.
The end Hamas sendiri juga kalau seumpamanya Hamas sendiri sudah menyatakan bahwa kalau terjadi permanent ceasefire alias permanent peace, gencatan senjata permanen, mereka akan keluar dari government kok. Terus UNRWA dibilang menghidupi Hamas dan lain-lain, apakah benar? Dan kalau benar, itu informasi dari mana gitu loh. Makanya kita perlu nyaring juga yang selalu aku keluhkan dari media itu, mereka itu kalau melakukan debat seperti ini atau apa jarang sekali yang melakukan cek fakta gitu loh. Jadi sering juga terjadi entah itu pihak mana mereka itu ngomong propaganda gitu loh.
Bassem Youssef, your response.
You guys are talking about these 2 ministers as if this is the exception. I mean, like all of the Israeli cabinets have genocidal language. And Mr. Jonathan Conartist on the other side he's like saying that they represent their constituents, which means the whole society, the whole community is genocidal. This is what they represent. And actually, I think like we're asking the wrong question. We should be asking, like, instead of what should we do, we should start asking, why are we funding this? Why is my tax money, $30 billion to date, went to Israel to buy 2,000 pounds bombs and F-35s to dump Palestinians? Why is your tax money, Pierce, is going to the British government to finance this? If Israel wants to defend itself, let it defend itself by itself, not with my money. And also,
nah ini kan karena kan banyak juga warga Amerika, mungkin warga Amerika yang terutama warga Amerika yang sekarang ini berpikir bahwa kehidupan di Amerika sendiri, mereka aja protes masalah harga telur yang mahal dan lain-lain. Kenapa uang itu malah digunakan untuk menggelontorkan dana bantuan untuk Israel gitu loh. Padahal warga-warga aja merasa keberatan dengan harga telur ayam gitu. Mereka mulai berpikir ke situ karena mereka memilih Trump dulu juga karena Trump itu menjanjikan American First gitu loh.
Also, like, this is like a country it's bragging that this lobby is buying off politicians in America. AIPAC is bragging about 80% of Congress being paid by them. If one politician in the EU, in Britain,
create a voiceover using your own
Aduh,
voice.
sorry. Pelan.
was bribed by Russian money, oh my God, you're going to have 6-month wall-to-war coverage, foreign interference, democracy, imperial corruption. But with Israel,
Nah ini bener juga. AIPAC itu mensupport politician Amerika itu amat sangat banyak ya. Jadi sistem politiknya mereka itu boleh didukung dengan uang seperti itu. Jadi dan AIPAC itu kan apa namanya Israel juga ya. AIPAC itu kalau nggak salah American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Jadi komite public affair-nya Israel sama Amerika. Nah, kalau seumpamanya mereka itu otomatis kan mereka kan dia buat lobbying group untuk apa? Strengthen the relationship between US and Israel kan. Kalau seumpamanya promote policies that support Israel security and well-being. Sekarang kalau politisi-politisi banyak yang dibeli, bahkan Bassem Youssef ini ngomong 80% kan, tapi kita memang perlu mengeceknya ya. Tapi kalau memang seperti itu, bukankah kebijakan yang akan diambil Amerika itu bukan untuk Amerika, tapi untuk Israel pertama gitu loh. Jadi bukan American first but Israel first gitu loh. Karena mereka itu juga di bawahnya Israel. Karena apa? Mereka maksudnya di bawah Israel itu mereka dapat duit dari Israel gitu loh, politisi itu. Tapi ini juga harus dicek. Piers Morgan tuh harusnya begini tuh mengecek 80% itu dapat angka itu dari mana, apakah benar 80%. Karena misinformation itu banyak sekali sekarang untuk menggiring opini, untuk melancarkan apa yang mereka inginkan gitu loh, melancarkan tujuan mereka gitu loh.
Israel crickets, complete radio silence. And I brought this, by the way, many times, and it was just like you flow over it, because this is the real question, right? Because you would spend 3 hours talking about if this is a proportionate response, but we'll not talk about 3 minutes. Why is my money, why is hurricane relief funds in America are going to fund Israel? Also, like, I don't understand the relationship between America and Israel. It's like,
ini perlu digarisbawahi juga ya. Mana ya? Terakhir kali itu humanitarian kali ya. Pokoknya kalau aku nggak salah ya, nanti boleh dicek deh. US Hurricane itu cuman dapat funding berapa gitu loh. Atau kalau nggak salah, kalau nggak ini aja deh. Relief fund ini nih. Relief fund. Let's see how much ya. Coba deh. Ada nggak ya? Nih. Approve more than 1,8 billion recovery effort for Hurricane Helene and Milton kan. 1,8 billion kan. Coba deh. $2024 aja ya. 17 billion dollar, 17,9 miliar dolar yang dikirim untuk military aid ke Israel dari Oktober 2023 sampai Oktober 2024. Padahal yang di dalam negeri aja ada US Hurricane aja, alias kayak tornado ya. Hurricane itu apa sih? Badai. Badai ya, bener kan? Badai. Jadi ada badai gede aja cuman relifannya cuman 1,8 billion gitu loh. Kenapa cuman 1/10-nya dari ini? Bukankah badai di dalam US itu yang harusnya ditangani terlebih dahulu dan harusnya mendapat proporsional yang lebih banyak, karena itu kan rakyat Amerika yang terdampak gitu loh.
The most effed up situation ever. We're like the world's most pathetic sugar daddy. We give them billions of dollars and they shit on us. Like Mr. Jonathan said, now we're ganging on them, we're not helpful. Dude, we gave you $30 billion to bomb children and it's not enough for you. Like, I mean, at least when you pay a dominatrix, you know that you're getting fucked. But this is just America having a public humiliation king while getting fucked, and they call this foreign policy. They are arresting American students on American soils for protesting Israeli war crimes. What the hell, man? This is like your crack whore making you beat your children.
Jadi ini bener ya. Kenapa aku selalu ngomong bahwa protes itu bagus, karena kita itu harus menyuarakan agar pemerintahan kita itu tidak semena-mena dan seperti itu ya, maksudnya semena-mena, dan suara kita pun harus didengar, karena pemerintah itu sejatinya kan mereka itu kan kepanjangan tangan dari masyarakat, harusnya mewakili keinginan masyarakat itu gitu loh. Dan aku sampai sekarang pun tidak setuju ya dengan protes yang ngebakar apa-apa, pokoknya violence alias rusuh itu aku nggak setuju. Cuman kalau orang protes terus sampai ditangkapin gitu kan ya gimana. Tapi terkadang juga sebuah pemerintahan kadang-kadang juga nggak mau bergerak gitu loh. Kalau seumpamanya protes itu cuman ngomong aja atau di depan White House kayak gitu juga nggak ditanggapin gitu loh. Tapi memang harus ada banyak pergerakan agar pemerintah itu bisa mengkoreksi dirinya sendiri. Apalagi jikalau pemimpinnya itu orang yang egois, menganggap dirinya benar, ataupun pemerintah yang mempunyai plannya sendiri, mempunyai agenda tersendiri gitu.
Children for calling her what she is, a whore. This is what really boggles me in America. The right and the left, they fight each other tooth and nail over gun control, education, minorities' rights, healthcare, DEI. But when it comes to Israel, everybody competes to be Israel's favorite bitch. Republicans hate handouts unless it's for Israel. And
ya benar, karena kan balik lagi tadi kan, kalau seumpamanya statistiknya yang Bassam Yusuf itu katakan itu benar bahwa 80% itu dapat paycheck dari AIPAC alias Komite Pro Israel Amerika, otomatis mau itu Republikan mau itu Demokrat, orang yang dalam tanda kutip serakah duit pasti juga ngambil gitu loh.
And Democrats, they love human rights and listen for the Palestinians. I mean, this is a Delulu state. You guys are Delulu. You are Delulu. Like, I came here today to witness for myself how someone can lie so shamelessly. The guy is like a human pinball machine. Every question lies on him, into Hamas. It's like a magic 8-ball with one answer. Hamas. Yani, at least flat earthers, they make things interesting. You guys are boring. You are like the same thing. I left all of this. I left the media because of this. I come back. It's a freaking Groundhog Day. Every day, the same question, the same thing. Dude, nobody believes you. You are liars.
Okay.
Nobody believes you.
Okay, let me just say, well, since you haven't been on media for a while, Bassem, you probably would have noticed that I've become quite unpopular actually with the pro-Israeli lobby, because I've been increasingly critical of Netanyahu and his government and believe they have.
Nah, kalau nanti mungkin juga aku akan mengcover interviewnya Piers Morgan yang sebelumnya. Jadi Piers Morgan ini dari awal itu mempunyai pandangan bahwa apa yang dilakukan Israel itu pokoknya betul gitu loh. Entah itu memang strateginya dia karena pandangan global saat itu sangat memihak kepada Israel, dan memang seharusnya seperti itu waktu itu, karena waktu 7 Oktober juga memang ada pemusnahan massal lah, ribuan ya kalau nggak salah, ribuan warga Israel menjadi korban, meninggal tentang kasus itu gitu loh. Nih. Bener kan ribuan kan? Bentar ya. Coba Indonesia. Kok susah banget ya cari data begini. Ya berarti bener ini 1200 lah, 1200 kan seribuan kan. Memang, dan itu tidak dibenarkan dengan alasan apapun, itu tidak dibenarkan. Tapi ya aku sampai sekarang pun kalau seumpamanya ngomong masalah konflik ini, aku selalu berpikir solution based gitu loh, solusinya terus apa gitu loh.
Because if you're not your doormat,
That's
if you're not
not entirely accurate,
then they
Piers.
will not do it. Yeah.
Well, okay, but, you know,
Piers,
them.
that's
All right,
not
but that's
entirely
just,
accurate.
you may have missed that. But Jonathan Comricus, your response to what Bassem Youssef said. Dry skin, deeper wrinkles, and crepiness are just a few of the visible.
Iklan lagi dong.
Well, you know, I could choose to respond to many things. I could respond to your foul language. I could respond to how low you speak. I could respond to your nonsense rhetoric. And basically, I think it shows that you've been out of the business for a while because you're repeating, regurgitating a lot of stuff that's really old. I think you should update your poison. You should get an updated version of the talking points against Israel. All of the things you said they're quite low level. They're not very impressive. I've heard it a million times, and it's quite childish. It's interesting for me to hear that from an Egyptian. Last time I checked, Egypt is the second largest beneficiary of American money. And if you reportedly really care about your tax money, then have you asked yourself why the US is providing so much money to Egypt and what the US gets in return? And what I would like to know is why is the Arab Egyptian Republic refusing to receive refugees, their Arab Muslim brothers from Gaza, and why are they so inhumane and cruel and preventing poor Gazans from escaping a war zone? Last time I checked, the only war where civilians have been prevented from leaving, escaping, fleeing a battlefield is this war. I cannot remember, and maybe you as a comedian can think of another war where civilians were prevented from a neighboring non-hostile state to flee the war. I cannot remember any such thing. And I think that the country where you come from has a lot to answer from. I know that you're more confident in bashing Israel and talking conspiracy theories and AIPAC this and that and all of the other nonsense that you regurgitated.
Loh, kalau urusan IPAC, orang memang IPAC itu mensupport politician. Yang aku tadi bilang aku harus dicek lagi itu masalah 80% ya. Tapi aku tahu memang IPAC itu mensupport, menggelontorkan banyak dana untuk membeli politician Amerika gitu loh. Jadi kalau omong kosong dari mana orang memang kenyataannya seperti itu untuk hal itu loh ya. Lalu dia ngomong perkara Egypt. Kenapa Egypt nggak menerima Palestinian yang ada di Gaza? Ya menurut aku sih waktu zaman Nakba dulu, right of return, harusnya mereka itu boleh balik lagi ke rumahnya. Jadi Gazan itu harusnya boleh balik lagi ke rumahnya sebelum peperangan itu. Tapi ternyata nggak boleh. Mana ya? Ini. Nah ini. Jadi dari Amnesty International pun mereka itu ngomong bahwa pada tahun berapa ini? Jadi Nakba 15 Mei itu kan ada 700.000 Palestinian yang displaced. Jadi displaced itu dipindahkan gitu loh. Jadi kayak dari rumahnya dipindahkan gitu loh, ya kan. Jadi dipindahkan lah, ditransfer lah, gara-gara ada perang itu. Terus mereka itu sebenarnya itu ada ini nih, fleet for whom in a flagrant violation of international law that has fueled decades of suffering on mass scale for Palestinian refugee across the region kan. Yap. Nah, jadi mereka itu harusnya punya right of return, di mana right of return itu mereka harusnya bisa balik setelah perang itu selesai. Tapi ternyata Israel pun refuse gitu loh untuk Ukraine itu mewujudkan mengiyakan Palestinian refugee right to return. Dan sekarang kalau seumpamanya mereka itu beneran pindah, katakanlah mereka ke Mesir dulu, yakin Israel bakal ngebolehin Palestinian yang di Gaza masuk ke Gaza lagi? Yakin? Ya, aku nggak bisa lihat masa depan ya. Cuman kalau kita lihat dari historinya seperti itu, aku sih nggak terlalu yakin ya. Well, let's see.
But let's talk about Egypt. Let's talk about their responsibility. Let's talk about US funds to Egypt. Let's talk about their cruelty. Let's talk about how they have prevented humanitarian access to Gaza. Let's talk about the fact that they have built the world's biggest wall that dwarfs the Chinese wall and all Israeli security.
Apa bener sih Egypt ngeblok humanitarian aid? Humanitarian aid to Gaza. Enggak tuh. Enggak. Enggak kok. Oke. Jadi ada aktivis yang mau ke Rafah border tapi dihalang-halangi sama Gaza kan. Sama Egypt kan. Tapi enggak kok. Egypt has publicly denounced the restriction on aid entering Gaza and repeatedly called for the end to the war. Iya kan? Atau yang diomongin yang ini tadi Mesir ngeblok aktivis yang mau ikut march to Gaza. Masih deh.
Security walls between Gaza and Egypt. Why did they do that? Out of Muslim compassion? Out of care for humanitarian rights of their Arab brothers? No, because they want the poor Gazans in, and because they know that programs like this one and other programs will support Hamas propaganda and will blame Israel for what's happening, when in fact Gazans should have been evacuated out of Gaza in the second or third week of the war. We would have defeated Hamas quickly and with far fewer unnecessary.
Ini loh, cara mengeluarkan warga Gaza dan meninggalkan Hamas aja di Gaza biar mereka itu bisa di destroy semua, bisa dibersihkan semua, itu caranya gimana? Kalau seumpamanya memang pintunya dibuka, apa enggak Hamas pun bakal pindah ke Egypt untuk sementara. Dan kalau seumpamanya memang seperti itu dan lain-lain, terus katakanlah udah bersih tuh Gaza dan lain-lain, yakin pemerintah Israel nggak bakal ngomong kayak kita nggak ngebolehin mereka masuk lagi karena beberapa Hamas juga di situ. Yakin mereka nggak mungkin ngomong kayak gitu.
Jonathan, just to be
non-combatant casualties.
just to be clear, programs like this one, hosted by me, which is the point you're making, I think,
Yes.
I'm afraid, I take exception to a 3-month policy of starvation of a populace that's been relentlessly bombarded that includes so many children. That's my problem.
Nah ini kan karena kan memang dari kemanusiaan itu ini tidak memanusiakan manusia gitu loh. Ini tuh collective punishment gitu loh. Jadi penghukuman kolektif gitu loh. Jadi nggak cuma Hamas yang terkena, tapi masyarakat Palestina juga kena.
Problem, and I think that the stated war aims of Israel at the start of this, which was to eliminate Hamas and to get the hostages released, neither of those things have happened. All that's happening is more and more civilians are getting killed in the process of going after the Hamas terrorists, and you've taken also, as a government, to starving already impoverished children. And I just find that unconscionable, as indeed, by the way, do 2 former Israeli prime ministers who've gone on record as saying that. And there was a very powerful piece by a Jewish writer, Thomas Friedman, in today's New York.
Nah, orang mantan prime minister, mantan perdana menteri Israel aja ada 2 yang ngomong ini tuh udah nggak masuk akal lagi, udah keterlaluan gitu loh.
Time saying Israelis, diaspora Jewry and friends of Israel everywhere need to understand that the way Israel is fighting the war in Gaza today is laying the groundwork for a fundamental recasting of how Israel and Jews will be seen the world over. And he doesn't mean in a good way. He means in a very bad and serious and potentially dangerous way. So yeah.
Ya benar. Siapa juga yang lihat kayak gini terus mikir, wah yang dilakuin Israel itu baik. Ada orang-orang tertentu.
Yeah, this program has evolved.
Thomas,
it does
Thomas
stand
has
for
been
that.
campaigning.
Well, I'm going to go to Bassem for his response. But since you brought that up about this program
Piers,
and
you
what it
leveled
represents,
10 allegations against me,
that is
and
what
I don't get to respond.
Okay, well, I'm going to let Bassem respond, but that is my response to what you said. So Bassem.
So
I didn't, finish making a coherent sentence.
Well, let Bassem finish first.
Okay, by all means.
I didn't interrupt you. All right? You asked me about Egypt, I'll answer you about
You didn't,
Egypt
and I appreciate
takes
that.
1/3 of the aid that Israel receives, while Egypt have 10 times the population. Egypt never received $30 billion to murder children and bomb hospitals. Egypt was never allowed to have the privilege of having more than.
Nah itu loh yang banyak dikeluhkan warga Amerika sekarang itu uang mereka digunakan untuk membunuh, betul, Hamas, tapi termasuk juga anak-anak dan wanita yang nggak punya salah apa-apa gitu loh.
And 58 vetoes in the Security Council, right? And also, why doesn't Egypt take Palestinians? This is like someone going into Fifth Avenue, shooting someone in the face, and it's like, why do the neighbors don't bury the body? You're the guys doing the killing, not Egypt. So stop talking about Egypt. Anyways, and I would like to, like Jonathan and his likes, to please stop Zionizing us. Stop the Zionizing. Zionizing, it's a verb which means to gaslight someone with such shameless, narcissistic, psychopathic audacity that you deny reality to their faces while simultaneously playing the victim, engaging in endless circle debates that go nowhere and displaying a complete loss of empathy and basic humanity. Right? Remember, Piers, why the first video went viral? Because I called Israel a narcissistic, psychopathic behavior that fucks you over and then makes you think it's your fault. Because this is what Israel does. It didn't happen. And if it did, you're remembering it wrong. And if you're not, it's your fault because you're looking into my phone. Narcissists lived in their own made-up reality. They don't share your reality. They live in their own custom-made universe where facts are negotiable and truth is whatever serves them in the moment. And when
Nah ini juga sama ya sama yang pernah aku baca dari sebuah artikel sebentar. Jadi talking point-nya tuh seperti ini, dan ya talking point baru ada tapi juga mirip-mirip seperti ini juga gitu loh. Sebentar. Aku taruh di mana ya, sebentar. Sebentar. Aku download lagi aja. Oke. Ini yang aku maksud. Biar kalian tahu ya. Biar kalian juga nggak terlalu gampang apa namanya, dimanipulasi gitu loh. Jadi Israel style of public relation ya kan. A quick guide to Israel's PR method. 1. Kalau seumpamanya ada apa kan, we haven't heard report of that, we will check on it. Okay. Terus kedua, the people were killed but by a faulty Palestinian rocket or bomb. Terus kalau seumpamanya terbukti bahwa enggak seperti itu. 3. Okay, we killed them but they were terrorists gitu. Terus kalau emang terbukti bukan teroris, terus jawabannya okay, they were civilians but they were being used as human shield. Terus kalau seumpamanya mereka itu tidak digunakan sebagai human shield, mereka jawab gini, okay, there were no fighter in the area, so it was our mistake, but we killed civilian by accident, they do it on purpose. Ya kan? Terus kalau seumpamanya enggak lagi, maksudnya kayak apa namanya, enggak by our mistake, mamanya mereka katakanlah ada footage yang memperlihatkan mereka itu tidak by mistake tapi memang disengaja, jawabannya okay, we kill far more civilians than they do, but look at how terrible the other countries are. Terus kalau seumpamanya kita lebih kritis lagi tentang Israel, jawabannya why are you still talking about Israel, are you some kind of anti-Semite? Pasti seperti ini, nggak jauh-jauh dari ini. Kalau ada kasus apa nggak jauh-jauh dari ini. Loh. Kemarin juga gitu kan, apa namanya, sama Iran. Terus yang digunakan mereka itu nomor nah ini nomor 5 yang digunakan. Okay, there were no fighter in the, it was our mistake, but we killed civilian by accident, they do it on purpose. Bener atau enggak dan lain-lain ya kalian searching sendiri aja, make up your own mind lah untuk itu. Soalnya ada benernya juga, karena kemarin Iran kan yang apa namanya, struck kan juga banyak yang struck ke apa namanya, civilian area di Israel kan. Dan memang yang ditargetan apa IDF itu kan kebanyakan apa namanya, military, jadi tempat militer lah. Kalau nggak salah kan 17 yang di tempat militer, ada 15 dan yang 2 ada di perumahan gitu. Cuman aku juga nggak ngerti yang apa namanya, roketnya Iran itu yang kena di mana dan lain-lain, karena reportnya juga kita nunggu dari IDF, dan IDF itu ya kredibel lah, nggak pernah ngapusi kan, nggak pernah bohong kan IDF.
When it comes back and when you corner them, they back throw tantrums, accusation, Hamas, anti-Semitism, full victimhood mood. And it's pointless to debate with them, right? Because take him, for example, and the likes of him. You show them a video, it didn't happen. You show them UN reports, these are lies. You mention international law, it's complicated. You get testimonies on the ground from doctors and nurses at Hamas propaganda. Yeah, we saw it with our own eyes. Your optic nerve is anti-Semitic.
Jadi gini loh, kalau seumpamanya semua itu diragukan, kayak Hamas diragukan, oke lah Hamas diragukan, terus international organization di mana mereka itu harusnya berdiri sendiri ya, itu juga diragukan. Terus apa namanya, klip yang bahkan nggak seharusnya kita tahu nggak editan, karena kalau seumpamanya editan pasti juga langsung di blow up bahwa itu editan dan lain-lain. Itu juga ngomong apa namanya, itu nggak terjadi, apa namanya, video bohong dan seterusnya. Lihat sendiri pun mereka itu ngomong kalau kamu berpikiran seperti itu berarti kamu tuh anti-Semite. Nah, terus kita bisa mengkritik Israel.
Like Israel is like Shaggy. We saw you on the hospital. It wasn't me.
Di sini bukan berarti aku tuh tidak mengkritik Hamas ya. Hamas itu juga nggak bagus. Kenapa? Karena dia katanya memang dapat aid dari negara-negara itu bahkan amat sangat banyak, bisa juga mensejahterakan rakyat Gaza, tapi ternyata nggak seperti itu, tapi duitnya dibuat bikin terowongan, terus beli persenjataan dan seterusnya, beli roket dan seterusnya. Betul, tapi di sini aku yang paling nggak suka itu kenapa kita itu nggak boleh mengkritik Israel gitu loh. Kenapa kita boleh mengkritik Hamas tapi kita itu tidak boleh mengkritik Israel gitu loh.
We show you killed the children. It wasn't me. Dude, your war crimes are documented. Hamas propaganda. Also, it wasn't me. There is no point of debating gaslighters. We have 4K videos, satellite imagery, and
Nah, mungkin ini ya yang dimaksudin gaslighting. Jadi, bentar. Aku aja sampai nggak ngerti loh gaslighting itu apa. Where one person makes another doubt their sanity, perception of reality, or memories. It's a tactic often used to control and disorient the victim, making them question their own thought and feelings. Yeah.
your own soldiers posting on TikTok bragging about killing children. But of course, yeah, the entire planet is having a mass hallucination, right? This is like Israel has that same credibility as a Ponzi scheme, right? This is why I'll give you an example how Dululu is Israel, right?
Bener, ini loh ada direction dari Telepon Israel ya. Nih Yitzhak Rabin nih loh. Yitzhak Rabin itu Prime Minister Israel ya kan, waktu tahun itu, waktu dia Prime Minister dari 92 sampai 99 ya. Dia itu punya policy alias kebijakan. Nih. Nih. Break their bones. Nih. As a shoot to maim, perpetuating a cycle of violence and oppression that leave a lasting impact on Palestinian life both physically and mentally. Bayangin, kalau ada yang protes, ada yang apa, terus seperti ini. Coba kalau dibalik. Dan kalau memang terjadi, maksudnya memang kejadian ini terjadi tapi dibalik yang jadi korban Israel. Coba negara-negara NATO, negara US, apa reaksinya seperti apa gitu loh. Di sini aku nggak mencoba untuk nggak ngebela suatu pihak ya. Cuman aku di sini memihak keadilan gitu loh. Dan ini tuh nggak adil kalau seumpamanya ada kejadian seperti ini terus kita itu nggak bisa mengkritik gitu loh. Dan salah satunya kalau seumpamanya ada orang ngomong, lah itu kan kejadian udah lama bla bla bla. Bener, ini kejadian udah lama. Yang kejadian baru apa? Polisi Israel tuh loh ngebom seperti itu. Bener, membunuh Hamas. Tapi innocent people-nya, orang tidak bersalah, rakyat tidak bersalahnya berapa yang mati? Sampai anak-anak. Kalau lihat korbannya itu nggak sampai hati ya.
Israel calls itself, I mean, he was in the IDF and he tell you, the most moral army in the world. Also, they call themselves the most vegan army in the world. So Jonathan here is representing an organization that is both vegan and genocidal. Yani, we will not eat chicken, but inshallah, we will bomb a hospital and barbecue it. Do you see how fucked up is this? This is like calling Jeffrey Dahmer the most vegetarian serial killer in history, right?
Okay.
And this is and one more thing. Does any army in the world call itself moral? This is another trait of narcissistic psychopathic behavior because they project to the world the exact opposite of who they are. If they lie, they brag about being honest. If they cheat, they brag about being faithful. And if they are cheap, they brag about being generous. And if they are criminal, genocidal, they brag about being moral, the most moral actually.
Okay. I mean, look, I would take away from that something that you and I, Jonathan, have reached agreement about, which is it remains appalling to me that international media and journalists are not allowed into Gaza to examine the veracity of all these claims from an independent perspective, because that would go a long way to answering the complaint, which is completely valid by Bassem, that every time there is any kind of incident which reflects badly on Israel, the immediate response is to shed doubt over it ever happening or to say it's Hamas propaganda or whatever. And the reason for that is because the Israeli government knows that there are no independent journalists from outside allowed in to ascertain the facts. And of course, nearly 200 Palestinian journalists have been killed by airstrikes. So there is
So
an
let's
awful.
discuss that, Piers.
On
Let's discuss
that,
it.
I know that Jonathan, you and I think agree
Yeah.
about that, right? I think it would be in Israel's interest and the world's interest if they simply lifted the ban
Yeah.
on journalists and allowed independent journalists to do their job and verify all these things that are happening. I mean, you agree, right? Tax day has passed, but for millions of Americans, that's where the trouble begins. The IRS is now ramping up enforcement for those who missed the April deadline or still owe back taxes. Well, today's
Thousands of
sponsor,
American
Tax
soldiers
Network
in
USA,
Afghanistan
can still
and
help.
Iraq
If your
try
books
to-
are a mess, if you're self-employed, or if you're a business owner, Tax Network USA specializes in cleaning up financial chaos and getting you back on track quickly. They say the IRS is applying enforcement pressure at levels they've never seen before. But even after the deadline, it's not too late to take control. The consultation is completely free. Acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, and surprise levies before they escalate. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/peers. That's tnusa.com/peers. Let Tax Network USA make the next move.
The future of your business is here. With Wix, you get advanced AI capabilities for more customization, more time, and more growth. Speed up your website copy with an AI text generator that delivers a consistent brand voice to every corner of your site. Unlimited unique visuals enhance every piece of content you create, instantly transform any
Not the IRS.
Yeah, I remember having this conversation with you, and I think it was that little Canadian Jew, self-hating Jew, I forgot his name, who repeated the same lies or the same story about media. And I remember telling you, Piers, that I will personally see you in the Gaza Strip if you decide.
Jadi self-hating Jew di sini itu jadi mereka itu apalagi yang pro Palestina, pro Israel, pro Benjamin Netanyahu itu selalu ngomong orang yang mengkritik Israel, mengkritik pemerintahan Israel itu sebagai antisemite. Kalau seumpamanya antisemite itu kan kayak orang yang nggak suka dengan Yahudi. Tapi kalau orang yang Yahudi yang ngomong, mereka itu melabeli mereka itu melabeli orang tersebut itu self-hating Jew.
To come over, since you have been campaigning on this, and since I think that you have a point, I don't think that what you say is true, and I don't think that all of the allegations that you make, some of them are directly unfounded. But
Which
many of the
ones,
things
out of
that you
interest?
say, I think that
Which allegations
what
are
you
unfounded?
said, what you said in the beginning of 3 months, the last
The 3-month
monologue before I
blockade,
got
food and aid,
time to respond. Yeah, 3 months of starvation. That is nonsense. That is absolute nonsense.
Well, you had a
Israel
3-month blockade,
allowed
right? I mean, there
a
was a
tremendous amount.
Well, hang on,
Piers.
Jonathan.
So let me explain. You asked, you did your monologue.
You say nonsense,
you
but there
have
was
the
a
mic,
you don't
Piers.
just
Ini yang Piers sekarang jauh lebih bagus. Dia itu sekarang kritis juga ke Israel gitu loh. Sebelumnya kritis terus ke pro Palestine, tapi menurut aku kurang kritis dengan pro Israel. Sekarang lebih bagus.
don't keep
Yes,
talking.
and if you'll allow
Tapi aku juga nggak mau kalau dia seumpamanya nggak kritis sama pro Palestine juga sih. Jadi semua itu harus adil.
It's a
to explain,
3-month
I will.
blockade of food and
Piers.
aid. You accept that?
Yeah, Piers, I listen, we both know that I cannot be in a shouting contest with your mic with this
of course
situation,
you
so I'm
can.
not even going to try.
Of course you
If
can, but you can't just dispute there
of
was
course- No, I'm not.
You
But
have to
but I will
agree there
just
was a
say- if you
3-month
let me-
blockade.
I will tell you what there was. There was, before that, a ceasefire which was violated by Hamas when Hamas refused to turn over hostages and to agree to the deal that was presented by the US with Egyptian and even Qatari support. Hamas refused to hand over those hostages and to continue the ceasefire. The ceasefire was ended and Israel returned to fighting. Now, during the ceasefire, Israel literally pumped the Gaza Strip with international aid, not because we very much wanted to do so, because those were the conditions of
And what
the aid,
happened
and
when
that
the
was what the
ceasefire
American
ended?
administration.
What happened when the ceasefire
And when
ended?
the ceasefire ended, Israel stopped allowing that because fighting continued.
And Israel
But-
killed
and
300
here's the
people.
really
It was
important
reported
part.
the next day, Israel
and
killed 300
But
people.
here is the really
I
important
don't expect
part,
even you
Piers.
to
Piers.
try and explain.
Nah, makanya di sini aku seneng karena Piers juga kritis juga sama Israel bahwa setelah berhentinya gencatan senjata itu langsung terjadi kayak gini.
They were all terrorists, right? So they killed 300 people the next day, and you launched, and the Israeli government.
Sekarang aku bingung gitu loh. Mereka itu taunya mereka itu teroris itu gimana? oke, yang bawa senjata dibunuh dan lain-lain mungkin oke, gitu mungkin bisa. Cuman dari 300 orang itu yakin semua bawa senjata. Kalau mereka seumpamanya nggak bawa senjata dan lain-lain, taunya mereka itu Hamas gimana? Mereka juga nggak ada kartu anggota. Mungkin ya, harusnya juga nggak ada sih kartu anggota. Buat apaan kartu anggota Hamas ya kan? Cara mereka tahu bahwa itu anggota Hamas gimana?
I'll
Launched a
get to that.
3-month blockade of food and aid. These are simple facts.
And Israel did indeed stop providing aid to
Right,
its
that's all I
enemy
said. So
and
what
to
did I
the
say that was wrong?
population there. But it was not a tactic of starvation. Nobody
What else
is
do you call it?
starving in Gaza. Nobody is starving in
So
Gaza.
why are they risking death,
after the Gaza Strip
stampeding
was
each other to get
flooded
to food?
with international aid, Piers, after the Gaza Strip.
Nah ini ya, kalau dia ngomong nggak ada yang starving dan lain-lain ya, aku juga nggak ngerti. Aku sendiri kan juga nggak di Gaza kan. Cuman ini nih, lihat nih, mereka itu sampai berebut nih, mana ya? Mana ya? Bentar. Mereka itu sampai berebut gitu loh. Mereka itu sampai berebut makanan gitu loh. 15 killed by Israeli fire near Gaza, 8 side.
Was flooded with aid, and when UN warehouses couldn't even meet the capacity, and when truckloads were delivered from the Israeli side and weren't even taken by the UN on the other side and by their Hamas counterparts, that is when Israel said, okay, we're also going to go back to fighting, and nobody is starving in Gaza. That is a complete fabrication. And if you speak about 4K evidence and all of that, Bassem mentioned a lot of nonsense, but you speak about evidence, you know how many videos I've seen of fat Gazans, of fat Hamas fighters, of overweight Gazans? Do you know how difficult it is for an Israeli to believe that Gazans are
Thank you for the
starving
diet.
when I see in social media that there are open hotels, that the markets have fresh produce, and that I
Continue
know
going.
the
Continue
amount
going.
of food that is
Continue
coming into the Gaza Strip. So
Continue, Habibi.
allow
والله-
me to
يا حبيبي
question
والله العظيم.
and doubt
I've been
everything what you
silent for a
say.
while.
Yeah,
I've been silent
Habibi,
for a while.
allow me to question and doubt
Habibi,
everything
بس
that you say, Mr. Comedian Bassem. And because you don't have standing, you don't have knowledge, you're outdated, you're repeating. I'll give you credit for saying catchy things and sound bites. You do that very well. But in terms of actually knowing what's going on in Gaza, you have no clue. You're a complete uneducated person who is just regurgitating monologues and catchy names and
And that's
popular
propaganda, yeah.
culture. At
And you don't
Israel,
think that
but you have
branding
no clue
Gazans
what's
a
going
bunch
on
of
in
fat
Gaza.
people who aren't starving? You think that's not a catchy little phrase
This is the
to get
funniest
attention?
shit I've ever heard.
I mean, come on. Really, Jonathan? You're reduced to saying that all Gazans are so
Send
overfed,
them
they're all fat.
pelotons.
Come on, man.
Send them treadmills
You
and
know,
pelotons.
Piers, the only really skinny people that I've seen in Gaza, you know who they were? They were Israeli hostages that were starved by Hamas. They are the only
They were in
skinny
a much
people,
better health
malnourished
than your
and
hostages,
tortured people.
than your-
Nah ini benar ya, jadi emang ada beberapa, aku nggak tahu sih beberapa, cuman ada juga sandranya warga Israel yang sandra Hamas dan meninggal. Tapi di kubu Israel pun sama, banyak juga warga Palestina yang dijadikan sandra, bukan sandra sih, pokoknya dipenjarain, banyak juga yang tanpa alasan. Kenapa aku bilang tanpa alasan? Karena nggak pernah dibawa ke pengadilan, nggak pernah diadili, tapi ditahan dan nggak dikeluarkan gitu loh. Dan banyak juga yang meninggal gitu loh.
That I've seen coming out of Gaza. They are the only ones that have been really malnourished. All the other ones that I've seen, and believe me, I have watched hours and hours of footage of Gaza that none of you have taken the time to watch, and I've seen
Well, let
a
the
lot of
journalists in then.
healthy and
Why
some
don't
of
you
them,
let the
yes,
journalists in
overweight.
to verify whether
And
there
I've
are
said to
actually
you, Piers,
any starving
come.
people in Gaza?
If
Why
you-
don't you, if you're so right, and all the Gazans are incredibly
Yes.
fat from all the extra food they've been
No,
eating,
that's not what I
why-
said.
You did
Piers,
actually.
I didn't
then
say
why
that.
don't you
I
let the
didn't say that.
journalists?
No, I didn't
let
say
the
that.
ju-
I said
let
that
the
I've
journalists
seen
in,
fat
and we can
Gazans.
analyse just
Yeah.
how many fat people in Gaza there are who've been overfed in the last
Yeah.
few months.
And we
Bassem,
can analyze how many times UN organizations have weathered this.
The thing is, Jonathan, you can say what the hell you like, but we can't verify it, can we? You won't let journalists get in to verify it.
I'll say it now. I'll say it now a fourth time, Piers. I will invite you personally. I am inviting you personally a fourth time, and I've said it. I think 3 or 4 months ago when I was last before that on your show. I said, Piers, I agree that you should be able to get access to it because you have been campaigning.
And you would let me go anywhere in Gaza, or would I have to be directed to where you want me to see?
and make sure that you would get access. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I would make sure that you get in and that you get the opportunity to speak with Palestinians. Yes.
All right.
I think that you would have a good opportunity to do it.
I was promised
Bassem,
equal
your
time.
response.
I've spoken for 3 minutes or even less, and the rest he's spoken. This is unfair. Like, come on, guys.
Well, you had equal time until that last exchange where I was arguing with him. So now you can respond, Bassem.
Ini kenapa ya?
So first of all, Israel is known, they have broken more international laws than Diddy has violated young rappers, right? This is bullshit, right? This is the problem with debating with pathological liars than him. It's like trying to nail jelly to the wall. It's messy, it's pointless, and everybody watching knows that you're wasting your time. Pathological liars don't argue with you. They argue to exhaust you, right? The whole point is to drag you into pointless and a maze of circular logic that you either give up or you lose your temper, right? You present evidence, they question the source. You give them the sources are biased. You show them video footage, the footage is taken out of context. You give them the context, it's complicated. For them, truth is not a destination. Truth is a moving target, right? Everything can be always debated, including gravity, right? Reality for them is another opinion. War crimes becomes allegation, genocide becomes a conflict, dead children become casualties in a very sad, complex situation. Words have no meaning anymore, right? So they do all of that while maintaining this calm, reasonable demeanor. You know, like him, he has like a resting genocide face. Like, you know, it's like crazy, right? They're not here to waste time while people die. So you don't debate with pathological liars. You diagnose them, right? So like, because this is the problem. And also I've been hearing. I just want to ask, like, do you practice in the mirror this victim voice? Like, because you just sounded as if the most powerful nuclear power in the region are hiding under the bed like a small puppy. This is crazy. And also, let's talk about journalists. How many times Israel killed journalists? And then it's like, it didn't happen. It wasn't us. No, it was us. But it's an accident.
Let's talk about journalists, Bassem. Yeah, let's talk about journalists, by all means.
Don't interrupt me. Basha, don't interrupt me. Like, it's not us.
Let's talk about journalists, indeed, about Hamas.
Let's talk about shut up. I didn't interrupt you. Shut the fuck up. So anyways, like, you have like
don't
journalists.
Don't tell me to shut the fuck up and don't use that language with me, Mr. Bassem. Don't use that language with me.
Ini loh yang aku nggak suka. Kalau emang ada sanggahan atau apa, ya udah dengerin dulu aja, terus nanti disanggah. Enggak caranya kayak gini. Ada orang lain yang mau ngomong tapi nggak bisa ngomong. Ini kayak pembungkaman gitu loh.
I'm so sorry if my language is hurting your feeling. Again,
don't use that language with me. Try to keep it civilized. Do it for a second. Try to keep it civilized.
Civilized. Okay, حبيبي ماشي. المهم. Anyways, like, let's talk about journalists. Like, let's talk about journalists. How many times they killed journalists, right? And how many times they denied it? Then say, like, it's Hamas. Like, it was not us. It was a mistake. We will investigate. And let's talk about journalists back.
Nah, ini loh kenapa kita itu harus berpikir kritis gitu loh. Karena Israel itu sudah pernah nggak cuma sekali doang berbohong tentang informasi yang mereka sampaikan, bahkan ke publik, bahkan ke semua negara gitu loh.
Let's talk about Asa Weinstein, a British journalist in London. His house was raided by British police for writing and exposing Israeli war crimes, for exposing their claims on October 7th, for exposing the rape hoax. He debunked the rape hoax. He exposed the Hannibal Directive. This is a guy sitting in London talking about a foreign country, and he was raided by British police. So I want to ask everybody who cares about freedom of expression, including you, Piers, like, shouldn't you be worried that one of your nationals, a British journalist, he shares your same profession, to be raided by London police and his equipment taken away for writing about a foreign country? What does this tell you about England? What does this tell you about Israel? What does this tell you about the so-called freedom of expression in the West? Right? So this is the problem. Like, this is the problem of dealing with people.
So let me ask you a question, Bassem. Let me ask you a question, because I've given Jonathan a hard time. I think he's deserved it after some of the things he said. And let me give you a different type of question. The Israelis say, and have said from the start, all that has to happen is Hamas release the remaining hostages, and they have steadfastly refused to release the people that they kidnapped on October the 7th, 2023. Why don't they release the hostages, and do you condemn them for not releasing them?
Kalau menurut aku sih kenapa Hamas nggak ngerilis hostage dan lain-lain, karena kalau dirilis pun meskipun mereka ngomong apa namanya damai dan lain-lain, mereka pasti cari alasan lagi, entah itu katakanlah Hamas masih mengancam atau apa, atau mereka bikin apa namanya psyop atau apa, pasti juga mereka cari alasan lagi untuk meneruskan bornya itu gitu loh. Jadi kalau ditanya terus solusinya apa, aku sendiri juga masih mencari-cari gitu loh.
You see, this is the problem.
Is that going hard on him, Piers? Really? Do you condemn Hamas? Seriously?
Your voice is annoying. Stop. Your voice
So
is
is yours, but that's okay.
Yeah,
so is yours,
maybe.
but I manage.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? People pay to come to my shows. They won't pay to come to yours. Anyways, so here's
Okay. I'm not going to go into a pissing contest with who's a better
because
comedian.
you
You
lose.
can have
Because
that title. You can be a
you
satirican.
will
That's
definitely
fine.
lose.
All right, can you,
Wallahi,
Bassem,
you
answer my
continue to be a
question.
comedian.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let's talk about credibility. Now, this is what Israel claims. Why would I believe anything that Israel says?
Piers, did you ask him a question, or is this another monologue?
Yeah, I do want an answer to the question, Bassem. I think that's only fair, right? I mean, it's a very
Yes,
straightforward
I'm
question.
telling you, this is Israel claims. Why do I believe a liar? Israel has lost its. Israel has.
Well, you
the
don't
credibility
dispute there are
of-
still hostages, do you? Or do you?
Yeah.
Bener, masih ada hostages, masih ada sandranya, masih ada.
These negotiations have fallen many times within the government because people inside the Netanyahu government didn't went through.
Yeah, but that wasn't the question I asked you.
You have testimonies
Yeah,
from.
but that wasn't. But hang on, Bassem. That wasn't the question I asked you. I simply said, why haven't they released the hostages? And do you?
Well, you can ask Hamas
Well,
for
hang
this
on.
because
Ya jawabannya ya gampang. Sebenarnya mereka juga nggak, menurut aku juga Hamas nggak percaya kalau umpamanya apa namanya Hamas membebaskan sandranya pun mereka itu bakal gencatan senjata itu. Hamas menurut aku juga Hamas nggak percaya gitu loh. Mungkin gencatan senjata ya gencatan senjata, mau berapa, 1 tahun 2 tahun 3 bulan. Makanya Hamas waktu perundingan itu dia cuma minta satu, permanen ceasefire gitu loh, gencatan senjata permanen.
Hamas.
Let me remind you, and do you condemn Hamas for not releasing them?
Oh my God. You condemn Hamas. You could. Yes. I condemn Hamas. This is great. Both sides are like, even if they have hostages.
Kalau ditanya ya, do you condemn Hamas gara-gara tidak membebaskan sandranya? Sekarang aku juga bertanya, terus apa Piers juga mengutuk Israel yang memasukkan orang ke penjara tanpa dakwaan, tanpa apa-apa, dan enggak disidangkan sampai bertahun-tahun? Ngutuk Israel enggak? Aku di sini cuma jadi apa ya? Jadi aku cuma ingin justice gitu loh.
Even if Hamas was a vampire sucking baby's blood, what is happening there is not justifiable. You're not just weak.
Nah ini loh yang aku ngomong, meskipun Hamas itu seperti itu, pengeboman apartemen, hospital, kayak gitu itu tetap nggak bisa dijustified gitu loh. Kecuali kalau kamu itu ada pengepungan atau apa, terus waktu baku tembak terus ada katakanlah beberapa orang yang jadi korban atau apa, itu beda. Tapi ini mereka itu tidak apa ya, tidak berusaha gimana caranya meminimalkan korban dari warga sipil gitu loh. Tapi mereka langsung mengebom. Nah itu tuh benarnya itu di mana? Benarnya gara-gara ternyata memang ada apa namanya pejabat Hamas di situ atau apa? Yang jadi pembenaran terus apa? Kalau memang karena itu, pantaskah membunuh 1 atau 2 atau 3 atau katakanlah 10 orang Hamas itu dengan mengorbankan rakyat sipil biasa, mungkin ratusan, mungkin puluhan? Apakah itu benar? Dan aku bisa bilang di sini, rakyat sipil biasa yang aku ngomong itu kebanyakan juga perempuan dan anak kecil, karena Gaza itu demografinya seperti itu. Wanita dan anak kecilnya lebih banyak daripada pria dewasa gitu loh. Ini bentar ya. Nih. Lihat nih. Children make up nearly half of Gazan population. Lihat nih, children make up nearly half of Gazan population. Belum wanitanya. Berarti kan safe aku ngomong kalau children sama perempuan itu lebih dari setengah dari populasi Gaza, lebih banyak daripada pria dewasa. Terus itu kalau ngebom di situ akhirnya apa? Banyak children sama wanita yang meninggal kan? Sipil, tidak tahu apa-apa tentang Hamas.
You cannot even do not destroy a whole population.
That's a different
because
question.
there's
It's a different
terrorists
question.
with homemade like
But Bassem, that's a different question, and I agree with you.
even if they have hostages,
By the way,
you do not destroy
Bassem,
a
I
whole
agree
building with
I actually
hostages
agree
inside.
with you. But my question is very simple: should
Yeah.
Hamas release the hostages, and does the fact they keep refusing to?
Jawabannya kalau aku sendiri sih aku juga nggak tahu. Kalau seumpamanya dirilis terus ternyata nggak ada kepinginan dari Israel untuk permanent ceasefire dan lain-lain, ya bisa dibilang rugi dong Hamas. Sekarang nggak ada dia nggak punya barang atau sesuatu yang bisa dibuat menegosiasi dengan Israel. Internasional juga lihatnya kayak gitu, juga banyak yang protes dan lain-lain, tapi ternyata US juga diam aja, tetap aja support Israel terus-terusan.
Do you condemn that? A simple question.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Hamas have agreed to, again, I'm not a Hamas representative. I cannot speak for them. But we all know that Hamas has
Fooled
agreed.
me, Bassem.
And Israel comes. No. Israel has sabotaged this deal many times based on testimonies from inside the Israeli government and from the family of the hostages. Israel is the one that's been sabotaging
Yeah,
this
but answer my
many
questions.
I am answering your questions.
You're
It's
not.
not that we because they do it because Israel has sabotaged.
Should they
this
release the
stuff many times.
hostages, and do you condemn them for
Of
not
course they
releasing
should.
them?
Of course they should. Of course they should.
And do
I
you
wish
condemn them
I
for
wish-
taking the
no,
hostages
I
and not
condemn
releasing
Hamas.
them?
I condemn Hamas for not releasing the country, and I condemn
Okay.
Israel for keeping more than 25,000 hostages in Israel.
Nah itu tadi yang aku ngomong, mereka menyandra lebih dari 25.000 orang di Israel. Coba yang pro Israel mengutuk nggak tindakan itu?
Half of them is women and children, right?
Right.
And the thing is, again, let me go back to my point. Credibility. Israel has lied many times. You have the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, went in front of the UN right before they bombed Lebanon, and he said every house in South Lebanon, in their kitchen, in their garage, harbors a missile for Hezbollah.
Now that I use Monday service, AI
Iklan
makes
lagi
selling
dong.
tickets my form of meditation.
If this is not comedy, what is this? How can you believe someone who said something?
Have you been to southern Lebanon?
And he said,
Have you been there? Do you know anything about it? No,
Yeah, of course.
don't say that. Have you been there? Do you know anything about it? Out of the three of us, I'm actually the only guy who's been there. You haven't been there. You don't know about it. I'm quite sure that
really
you
can't
haven't
speak
seen
with that guy,
intelligence
like,
about
shouting in my
Hezbollah
ear.
operations, and I'm
Dude,
quite sure
dude.
that Piers hasn't either.
No,
I can tell you
no.
that I've seen it with my own eyes. Yes, I have seen
Here's the
tunnels
thing about
underneath
Israel.
houses
Israel
in
is
Lebanon.
aggressively
I have seen
entitled
houses
with-
that Hezbollah
Damn,
used
stop,
for military
stop,
purposes.
stop,
And
stop,
when you speak
stop,
about lying, well,
stop,
at least you
stop,
should have something to back up
stop,
your claims.
stop,
You're
stop,
saying nonsense.
stop,
You don't know what you're talking
stop,
about. You're
stop,
cheap
stop.
TV
Can you
talk.
not? Don't
and you
talk
don't
over
base
each
it
other,
on
Jonathan.
anything.
There's no point. Let Bassem finish and then respond. It's fine.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, finish
All
your
right.
point,
Well, if
Bassem,
you
and
will
let
eventually
Jonathan
finish, that'll
respond.
be a good thing,
Pathological,
Piers.
fragile, always deeply hurt state while they're doing that while holding the gun. Israel is what happens when you give a very advanced military to a Karen. Actually, he looks like a Karen. He looks like the male Scandinavian version of a Karen. Actually, he looks like he swallowed the Karen. But Israel is the only place where you can bulldoze a house and then sue you for spreading the tent. But dude, everybody knows that you're lying. Your neighbor knows that you're lying. Your barista knows you're lying. Even your
Jadi kenapa standarnya itu ganda gitu loh? Kalau Israel seperti ini oke, kalau Palestina seperti ini yang sama-sama seperti itu nggak oke. Kenapa kayak gitu loh?
GPS avoids your house because of this thing that comes from your vicinity. Everybody knows you're lying.
Well, I would
You
say
are
this.
a
All
lying
right,
state.
let me
You are
jump in.
pathologically lying
Okay,
state.
let me put it this way. You know what, Jonathan? You're perfectly entitled to not care what I think about any of this or what Bassem Youssef has to say about it, because obviously he has passionate views on the other side of this. And I've changed my views, as you know. I've said this to you very clearly. But I'm not the only one. What would concern me right now, if I was Israeli, or Jewish actually, is if I read Thomas Friedman's column, which was very powerful, and I urge people to read it today on the New York Times website. If I saw that the UK, Australia, Norway, Canada, New Zealand have sanctioned 2 members of the Israeli government for repeated incitements of violence against Palestinian communities. If 2 former prime ministers, one Ehud Olmert, said enough is enough, Israel's committing war crimes. Ehud Barak choosing a war.
Former Prime Minister, mantan perdana menterinya aja ngomong itu kejahatan perang, apa yang dilakuin Israel sekarang.
deception would write a new chapter in the March of Folly. The war is a misleading smokescreen that purports to be a campaign for the country's security and future, while in actuality it's a political war. You've got your own.
Bener kan, political war. Itu juga former mantan prime minister, mantan perdana menteri.
Former prime ministers. You've got Jewish columnists. You've got 5 allies, and they're all being increasingly critical of what this Israeli government is doing. Why does that not concern you?
So let's address that. First, let's characterize the countries that are part of that. Norway is not an ally. Norway has been really the tip of the most extreme part in Europe,
Let's take the UK.
propagating
Take
for a
my
Palestinian state
Take my
at all
country.
costs. Yeah, I will. And as I said in the beginning, I am indeed worried. I'm saddened by it. I think that it is a wrong decision. And I regret that that is what the UK has decided to be the policy that the UK
You know why
is
they're
driving.
doing it, don't
And I
you,
think it's
Jonathan?
regrettable.
They're doing it because Smodrich and Ben-Gvir have made no secret through their publicly stated comments that they want to kick all the Palestinians out of Gaza. They're also endorsing endless new illegal settlements on the West Bank. This is genocidal language that they're talking.
Jadi settlement ini juga salah satu yang sangat menyakitkan bagi masyarakat Palestina ya, karena daerah Palestina itu semakin hari semakin dibanguni bangunan-bangunan settlement itu kayak buat penduduk gitu loh, kayak perumahan-perumahan gitu loh, hunian ya, pemukiman. Nah, Israel bikin pemukiman di daerah-daerah mereka yang padahal menurut international law itu tuh bukan daerah mereka, nggak boleh seperti itu. Tapi ternyata juga nggak ada yang enforce gitu loh. Enforce itu nggak ada yang menegakkan gitu loh, nggak ada yang melaksanakan, nggak ada yang melaksanakan batas-batas itu gitu loh. Jadi dilanggar aja itu sama Israel gitu loh.
That's why these actions have been taken. And I don't believe, Jonathan, having interviewed
that is,
you
I
many...
think that's
Hang on,
part
let me
of
ask
it,
a question. Having interviewed you many times since the start of the war, I do not believe that you have anything in common with these people. I just think you instinctively know what they're saying and what they are planning to do is wrong.
So let me say this. As I said in the beginning, and I've been clear about it, I didn't vote for, and I probably don't support them in much of what they say, not in content and not in the way that they say it. I don't think that everything that these two ministers, these elected officials say is wrong, but I do think that many of their statements have been tasteless, have been wrong, and have been unhelpful. Now, what I am concerned with a lot, really a lot, is what we spoke about the last conversation when you had Ehud Olmert on. You asked him one semi-serious question about the war crimes allegations. He didn't back it up because he doesn't have anything to back it up with. He was just there for the headlines, and for the attention, and because he has a grudge against Bibi, and because he also has a lot of criticism against him. That is fine, and that's part of the Israeli political debate and environment, and that is usually what happens in democracies when people have the ability to say what they think and they have the freedom to do so. By the way, Arabs have it as well in Israel, unlike in most other countries in the Middle East. However, what I would say is also very worrying, and I think relevant to this program and to many other programs, is how easily Hamas propaganda and anti-Semitism are platformed, and what the consequences of journalists. A few questions ago, you started speaking about journalists. I would like to address the issue of the responsibility of journalists when they report from the field. I would like to address the responsibility of the New York Times.
Nah itu masalahnya, mereka masuk aja nggak boleh kok jurnalis masuk Gaza. Kenapa coba?
They are in the field. They are in the field. They have people in the field, and they have people
How many
in
international
Jerusalem, and they
journalists
have
are
people
currently in
Ramallah.
Gaza? How many international
only
journalists
international
are currently
peers,
operating freely in Gaza?
Why would you diminish the importance of Palestinian
I didn't.
journalists
I
in
asked
Gaza?
you how many
Why would you
international journalists.
unqualify them?
Kill them.
I didn't.
You kill them.
I said how many
Well,
international
there are
journalists are in
lots of them.
Gaza?
You can see who is reporting.
None. Nada.
Yeah. You can see who is reporting. All of the major networks are reporting from Gaza.
If you don't like the
editors
reporting
in
from Gaza, then let international journalists in. But you won't. And there's only one reason you won't.
Piers,
Because you don't want journalists. You don't want journalists to
Yes.
actually report what's happening.
Piers,
You would rather smear all
Piers,
Palestinian journalists
and
as
we are in
Hamas.
agreement. Piers.
Nah benar itu. Kenapa internasional jurnalis nggak boleh masuk? Kenapa? apa yang disembunyikan, yang nggak ngebolehin masuk bukan Hamas loh, yang nggak ngebolehin masuk Israel. Kenapa? Mereka pasti ngomong security. Mereka juga jurnalis juga pada udah mikir security-nya yang mereka sendiri kok. Apa gara-gara banyak jurnalis yang dibunuh sama Israel? Ya nggak dibunuh lah. Kalau bahasanya Israel kan korban yang nggak sengaja gitu.
Piers, we have covered it, and I have already said that we are in agreement that you and I have said to Israeli counterparts of media that I think we should allow journalists in. We have said that, and I think you don't need to use it every time
But it
I
hasn't
start to
happened
make an
yet.
argument of something
It
that is
hasn't happened yet.
remotely
And you keep
inconvenient.
questioning the integrity of
well,
Palestinian journalists who are getting killed in large
Yes,
numbers,
and I
record
will-
numbers, in fact,
and-
but you
not
won't
in
let
such
the
large
international
numbers, and I
journalists
will
in.
continue to do that, Piers. Yes, and I will continue to question the veracity
But that's
of
very easy to
reports
do,
of
isn't it?
Palestinian
So
so-called
easy to
journalists.
smear Palestinian journalists who
what
are
I
dying in
think-
large numbers because you won't let any other journalists in. So you say all the ones that are there are pro-Hamas,
Piers,
you
there is
smear
a
them
lot
all.
of reporting from Gaza. There is a lot of reporting from Gaza, and really, I think
Ya kan semua jurnalis kalau umpamanya ngomong kayak gitu semua pasti ngomongnya pro Hamas gitu. Terus yang nggak pro Hamas siapa? Diri kamu sendiri. Gimana caranya kamu tuh nge-report diri kamu sendiri di light yang jelek atau light yang negatif kalau kamu sendiri yang report gitu loh.
it's fine.
Makanya harusnya ada third party reporter yang masuk ke sana. Tapi third party reporter juga mereka pasti nge-smear katakanlah anti-Semite lah, apalah, musuhnya Israel lah, apalah, nggak suka sama Israel lah, bla bla bla.
That you have a point to make,
Konyol
but
sih.
you cannot say that every time I open my mouth and I speak about press coverage or falsifying reality or repeating Hamas propaganda. That cannot be the answer that you use each and every time that I make a point about reporting
Actually, it can.
and
It can, because
responsibility
it's
of
one way.
journalists and editors.
It is
No,
actually, I
it
can.
cannot be.
I can,
It cannot
Jonathan.
be,
I'll tell you
Piers.
why I can.
No, it cannot
Let
be.
me answer.
No,
I'll tell you why I
you
can.
can do everything.
I'll tell
It's
you
your
why I
show.
can.
But at
Because
the end of the day,
actually-
I think responsibility
Let me answer
goes
you.
both ways.
Let me answer you.
Yeah,
Let me
but
answer you.
responsibility
Let
as a
me answer
journalist
you.
also
Stop
goes both
talking and let
ways.
me answer you. Right? This is the reason I can.
By all means, Piers.
Because
Ballistic
ultimately we've got to a
missiles.
place in this
Right
war
now,
where
it-
Israel denies or cast out over anything that happens which reflects negatively on the IDF or the Israeli government. Anything. It's all just dismissed as it didn't happen like that.
That's also
We'll
not
launch an
true. That's
internal
not true,
investigation
Piers. If
ourselves.
we're honest,
blah, blah,
that's
blah.
not
And
true.
so the overriding answer to all of that problem, to all of that, to get to the truth, to get to the bottom of it, is let the international journalists in. So I will keep saying it.
Nah bener, internasional jurnalis suruh masuk dong, suruh report apa yang benarnya terjadi. Emang Hamas atau bukan? Emang Hamas yang jahat atau bukan? Emang Hamas yang pakai human shield atau bukan? Dan seterusnya. Dan perlakuan mereka, maksudnya tindakan mereka di Gaza itu seperti apa? Kita publik harusnya bisa tahu lah. Nggak cuma dari pihak Palestina. Kalau pihak Palestina pun semua orang pasti ngomong orang Palestina otomatis juga membela Palestina kan.
Until it happens. I know you agree
Okay,
with
you
me.
can- you
I know
can
you
keep
agree with
saying it,
me,
Piers.
but
That's
you
fine.
agreeing with me doesn't
Fine.
make it
You-
change.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, as I said, you can keep on saying it, but I would keep on saying that I think journalists and editors have responsibility for the lies that they spread and for the anti-Semitism that they help flame. And I think that we see that. Jews, when you speak, you expressed concern and you asked me how I feel as an Israeli and as a Jew about what people say and about the situation. I am concerned without even a drop of cynicism about what you said. And I think those are serious issues that this government needs to answer for. But I will also say that I am very concerned with the ease and with the negligence that I see journalists and people with access to microphones, how they just spread falsehoods, libels, and lies about Israel and about Jews. And I see the real world consequences of what happens when Islamists and Palestinian supporters and Hamas supporters and all of the other bad apples that have embedded themselves in Western society are allowed to
But
take
we've also
the streets
got,
in
Jonathan,
London
I'm going
and
to
are
get
allowed
Bassem.
to take the streets in New York.
I'm going to get Bassem to respond, but I would just say on that point, I myself have seen in the last 2 weeks that if you dare to criticize the Israeli government in a way that almost everybody is now doing, by the way, whether it's former Israeli prime ministers, whether it's allies of the country, you name it, people are queuing up to criticize the Israeli government. But when I did it, despite having defended Israel's right to defend itself for many, many months, as Bassem knows, we argued about it, that I was immediately accused of being a Jew hater and an anti-Semite. It is a deliberate...
Nah, emang itu jurus mereka. Jadi mereka itu nggak mau nggak mau dikritik, nggak mau apa, pokoknya kritik mereka apapun itu ngomongnya anti-Semite. Mereka itu pengennya berbuat seenaknya mereka sendiri tanpa 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 pushback, tanpa apa namanya, tanpa konsekuensi gitu loh.
campaign.
that's not
It was a
Itu cara untuk menutup conversation, menutup apa namanya, menutup perdebatan atau menutup kritik untuk Israel gitu loh.
deliberate campaign
And I
to
will
shut
just
me,
say
to shut
one
me
thing and I
up.
will be
It was a
quiet.
deliberate campaign to stop me criticizing.
Nah, untuk membungkam, bener, untuk membungkam. Jadi membungkam semua kritik.
No.
The Israeli government by branding me a Jew-hating anti-Semite, which anyone who's watched this show
Piers, that is
from
not
the start of
accurate,
this
that's
war
not truthful.
knows is complete nonsense. Right.
Nah, sekarang juga masyarakat mulai ngerti dengan cara mereka itu tidak pernah mengakui bahwa mereka salah. Semua kritik yang dilayangkan ke mereka, meskipun itu kritik yang benar-benar sesuai fakta, mereka tetap menyangkal dan ngomong orang yang mengkritik antisemite dan lain-lain. Kata antisemite itu lama-lama juga nggak ada artinya, karena orang rasa memang itu untuk membungkam semua kritik tentang Israel gitu loh.
Bassem, your final word
Piers,
to
that's
this.
not truthful.
First of
Well,
all,
it is true.
that is
I
not
read it
truthful.
every second on social media. I saw myself being
But
accused
Piers,
of being a
you know
Jew-hating
that the
anti-Semite.
criticism against you was Piers, you know that the criticism against you wasn't because you have criticism against Israel. It was because how you spoke to Natasha,
Yeah.
the tone and the demeanor.
Yeah.
It wasn't the
Which I
content
make
of
no
what you
apology
said.
for,
It
by
was
the way.
how you
She
spoke.
is a barrister for a group called Lawyers for Israel. She's not an impartial horse in the race. She's supposed to be an international.
Jadi sebelum ini ada Piers Morgan itu menginterview Natasha dari IDF juga, dan itu juga menarik sih. Nanti mungkin juga aku bakal cover itu.
Barrister. If she can't take tough questions or being challenged or being interrupted by a journalist, she's in the wrong job. Right, Bassem, your response to Jonathan
Respectfully
to
disagree.
round off.
Yeah,
Bassem will
keep
now be
talking.
allowed to speak without interruption to finish the debate. Bassem.
What's
Iklan
AI
lagi
saying
dong.
about your brand? SEMrush's AI toolkit tracks how AI sees you.
First of all, Piers, welcome to the behavior of narcissistic psychopath. They love bomb you, and then when you make a single criticism about that, they go all flip like bad shit on you. Welcome, Habibi. Also, like Jonathan, like overuses the word anti-Semitism so much.
Aku kayaknya harus banyak belajar deh tentang kosakata psikopat ini.
It's like a used condom at this point, completely stretched out, lost all its protection, and nobody wants to touch it anymore. Jonathan uses Hamas more like a crackhead uses excuses, right? And let me tell you about like things from the ground. I'm coming to London, by the way, 19th of July. There is a big concert called Voices for Solidarity. They are organized by health workers for Palestine, right? These are people that were on the ground and they saw with their own eyes that they have testimonies. I would love you to actually host some of them. So if you want people from the ground, so they can. But of course, it's going to be like Hamas propaganda and all of that. And also, like what is like really have been bothering me about all of this is the reset. It's as if the media is living its own Groundhog Day. Everything resets, right? Like Western media has the attention of a TikTok algorithm. Every discussion starts from zero. Every crime exists in a vacuum. Every pattern is like coincidence. Like, oh my God, those Israelis there had really bad luck with these accidental hospital bombing. What the hell? 40 hospitals bombed, and we discuss 41 as it's a new development, right? It's like covering a serial killer, new 20th victim without checking the 19 victims in the freezer. This is not covering the story. This is covering up the story. And here's the thing. Nobody believes you, Israel. Nobody believes you. Nobody likes you. No matter how much media covers for you, no matter how much politicians you buy to parrot your talking points, no matter how many fake influencers you hire to whitewash your face, no matter how many.
Nah, karena masyarakat sendiri kalau seumpamanya tahu fakta atau katakanlah propaganda dari kiri dan kanan, mereka sadar bahwa itu tuh propaganda, dan mereka kalau seumpamanya interested enough on this topic, mereka bakal nge-searching, nge-research sendiri bahwa kebenarannya itu seperti apa, gitu loh. Jadi ya semoga juga kesadaran masyarakat, attention masyarakat bisa searching, bisa paham, bisa berniat untuk meng-searching sebelum mereka itu beropini. Karena opini yang dibangun dari propaganda itu ya jadi propaganda juga gitu loh.
many fake Indian-based accounts that tweets for you. No
Sekarang banyak lah internet, banyak bisa cari yang kebenaran fakta-fakta ini itu.
matter how many European models you bring in and you pay them so they can dance with the IDF uniform, right? That everybody can see you, everybody can smell your bullshit, right? You are like the neighbor who firebombs everybody's house, and you said why he's not invited to a house party, right? You will win in the battlefield. You will get more land because America supports you. It's like supporting a rabid dog that shits on your lawns and eats your cats and bites everybody, and it's like, oh, you just like have a bad day. You will win maybe on the battlefield, but everybody knows who you are: a bunch of heartless, psychopathic, demonic assholes. And
Okay.
that's I don't have anything to say.
Is that the end of the debate, Piers? That's the final statement of this.
If you want to
debate?
have a final word very quickly, by all means.
I'll try to say something positive. You know, despite that very foul language and what he just said, I will gladly invite you and your grandchildren to come visit Israel in 70 years. Maybe you and I won't be here, but maybe our grandchildren will. They will come to see a flourishing, democratic, free, prosperous society that, despite the actions of the people like you, despite our enemies, despite naysayers, despite haters and many other people, they will see that we will continue to live in our ancestral homeland. We will continue to nourish it and love it, and we will continue to prosper and live here despite people like you.
All right, but I would also like in 70 years' time to see exactly the same for the people in Gaza who are Palestinians.
Nah, harusnya memang kayak gitu. Karena seperti pembukaan UUD, kemerdekaan itu ialah hak segala bangsa gitu loh. Bukan cuman buat Israel doang gitu loh.
And
that's their choice.
And that has been
their choice.
Okay,
they can have it.
I would like to see that.
Choice.
I would like to see.
That's their choice. Israel juga sama dong, their choice juga kalau gitu.
That kind of utopia for them as well.
So would I.
And for them to enjoy the same human rights that you and I enjoy. I've got to leave it there.
So would I, but that's their choice.
All right, we've got to leave it there. Jonathan, you had a good amount of time to speak, as did Bassem. Thank you both very much. Here's Morgan Uncensored.
Ya begitulah. Ya kita mungkin nggak terlalu banyak yang bisa diambil dari cerita itu, tapi kita bisa ngerti lah talking point-nya apa, terus propaganda ini itu kita bisa searching lah, bisa research apa faktanya di lapangan seperti apa. Okay, see you next time on the next live, I guess. Thank you for watching and bye bye.